And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
I also believed that Make America Great Again meant Make America White Again. That's because the left media wanted me to believe that. I am here to announce I'm sorry, and I will be part of the group that will make America great again. And I will proudly vote Republican from now on. God bless, and again, I apologize for everything I've done.
Get the spotlight off of me. Do you think we ought to put people in jail for cheating?
Senator, I do not believe states are cheating.
You don't believe they're
I do
cheating?
not believe that.
If they were cheating, what planet did you just parachute in from? I'm glad you have some water in front of you because your pants are on fire.
Well, the issues surrounding us seem to be out of control. We want to see the evil gone ASAP, but don't understand when it will all end. I get it. This battle for information is grueling. We have to remember and have been told for so long to trust the plan. The administration, run by the military, I believe, knows what's going on. They see the traitors, understand the Islam issue more than us, and we want it out in the open. The key here is learning how we can help, we the people. Let's show you how your voice is working in the USA, the changes that are being made. I think that we'll capture that, hopefully, as we go through the information that's been making waves throughout social media and more. 514,000 followers on Rumble. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button and the like button and putting comments below. And folks, that like button helped us get to number 2 next to Dan Bongino with a August 3rd video. Absolutely amazing what you guys have done for us. Here's something for you.
Our new And We Know bracelets connect you with scripture with just the tap of your phone. Simply tap your phone to the bracelet, click the pop-up, and there's a new verse every time. If you're feeling anxious, need to pray, or just want to see what God has for you in the moment, you can tap for a verse and pray over that situation. Now available online.
And that's online at andweknow.com. We get that beautiful new website for you to check out. Great information there. You can sign up for a newsletter, see our latest episode. You're going to notice our 2027 Alaska cruise is available like we had in the ad yesterday that we shared, and so much more. We hope you guys would check that out. Here we go with President Trump.
If they back out again, they're going to get hit really hard. They know that. They understand that. I have no choice. They can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. It's not like, let's, think about something else. No. It should have been done by many presidents over many years, and it wasn't. And I'm doing it. Obama was taken to the cleaners. He thought he could bribe his way out. He gave them billions, tens of billions of dollars, so stupidly. $1.7 billion in cash, green cash, on a Boeing 757, an airplane loaded up with cash. They probably looked at it. They said, "You got to be kidding." No, you can't bribe your way out. All you can do is fight your way out. And if they didn't, they wouldn't be talking if we weren't doing what we're doing. We hit them very, very hard, but the hard hit is yet to come, and hopefully we won't have to use it. I hope we won't have to. We're having very good discussions. They don't like to admit that, but it's a little bit disconcerting. You tell people like you, we're having wonderful discussions, and then some guy will come out of Iran and say, "We have not met, we have not," it's just such a lie. All day long, you understand, it's just incredible. They'll say, "We didn't talk about nuclear." Well, what do we talk about? We're sitting there twiddling our thumbs, right? So, but it doesn't matter, that's talk. The only thing that matters is action, and they want to make a deal. We'll see what happens. If they don't make a deal, it's going to be too bad.
Trump warns hard hits coming for Iran. He continues to bring this message forward. Of course, he's telling we the people through Fox News. But that message, I'm sure, is resonating with those overseas the enemy of the people that are destroying that country and more. We also have folks seem to be playing games with all of us. No more games, right? That's what we've been told. John Thune.
Save America Act. So those two realities are there. Now, is there somewhere in here with budget reconciliation that we can do pieces of the Save America Act, or at least in a fiscal way deal with funding for some of those things? Maybe, and we'll see what the traffic will bear on that. We're having conversations, as you know, right now about that proposition. So we'll keep you posted.
Leader Thune, one of the members of your...
Interesting. So, do you think that there's some pressure that's bringing him to the podium now, John Thune? Is he starting to fall back and realize, man, there's a lot of pressure from President Trump and the MAGA base telling us that they can pass pieces of the Save America Act through budget reconciliation? Only 50 votes and J.D. Vance needed. Interesting words, but David Clements caught something else. He wants to make it a Democrat issue.
First is, there are no Democrats who are going to vote for this. All 47 voted against the SAVE Act 5 times. So let's make this an issue in the campaign. How about we go out and turn our fire on Democrats and make it about them opposing the SAVE Act? So we're not, that's the point. So we're not getting any Democrats. The second thing is, we are not getting rid of the legislative filibuster. The votes aren't there to do that. I've made it abundantly clear many, many times, and it seems to me some days that I'm the only one here who can count to 50 in this town, but we don't have the votes to get rid of the filibuster, and we aren't flipping 10 Democrats to vote for the Save America Act.
So, David Clements, this is a vile excrement piece of it there. He wants to make it a Democrat issue while simultaneously admitting he can't get a Republican majority to vote for the Save America Act. Come on. You know, it's really interesting. I watch these things and I look in the background. I kind of see who's around this guy, Thune. And there's kind of interesting characters. I'm going to show you this. This guy right here. Look at his eyes. You guys know him. Look at his eyes. Watch him. Staring. They're hardly even moving at all. He blinks a couple of times. Keeps staring. The eyes move just slightly as John Thune moves his head. It almost makes me wonder, is he even human? I just start getting into that conspiracy part of me. I'm like, this guy, I don't know. Just strange. Why aren't you looking around? The guy on the right, he's looking around. He's thinking about dinner tonight over here. And he's just stay here for a moment. Watch him. Okay, so look at the difference. If you're watching your screen, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to show you something. The guy on the right's looking around. He looks like a normal human being. He's moving his mouth around and more. And, of course, the lady on the left, she's looking around smiling and blinking her eyes over and over again. This guy's just strange. I don't know. Tell me what you think. So, C3, John Thune is lying by omission. He thinks we're stupid. The talking filibuster doesn't require removing the made-up filibuster. He could force it at any time. Thune can't find the votes to secure our elections because he doesn't want to. It's been done before. He's a traitor. Those that want to stick around and fight for our country. That's right, 20 Republican senators demanding no August recess till Save America Act is passed. Mike Lee, Rick Scott, Tommy Tuberville, Jim Banks, Ashley Moody, Darlene Graham, Bill Haggerty, Katie Britt, Todd Young, Marsha Blackburn, Eric Schmidt, Dave McCormick, Roger Marshall, Jim Risch, Ted Cruz, Mike Crapo, John Usted, James Langford, Ted Budd, and Josh Hawley. They don't want a recess. Huh.
Let's bring in Corey Mills. He's a Florida congressman sitting on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and the House Armed Services Committee. And I know that you've been listening to this. What's your takeaway from what you just heard?
Well, look, I mean, you're talking about 2 senators who do suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, 2 individuals who are not advancing, whether it be out of their primary or within the Senate itself into the next election cycle. And they have a bit of this, buyer's remorse, and they're trying to back it off now and say that it was because of a principled manner, when the reality is they were just trying to play a little quid pro quo, which is the kind of standard drug deals within the Senate and the House, where if I know that I'm a deciding vote, I can go ahead and try and see if I can get something out of it. These two individuals have continued to delay things, but here's the bigger question. Why is every single one of these senators who are sitting in right now in D.C. not voting for the Save America Act? Why is it that the House continues to do their job while the Senate basically points their finger about the House and talks about how we didn't do this or we didn't do that, and they can't even take a standard vote to try and protect election integrity? So the Senate needs to get off their butt, start doing their jobs, and I think that all the senators who signed up for the no recess in August until we pass the Save America Act, those are the patriots that we need to be getting behind and supporting, and those are the ones we need to be looking at for leadership in the future.
This is not controversial. There's only a couple things in the Save America Act. It is mandatory voter ID, it is mandatory proof of citizenship, and it is a ban on mail-in ballots unless there is a special circumstance. It's that simple. Donald Trump has posted this multiple times. Everyone wants voter ID in our elections, but for some reason, Democrats and the majority of Republicans in the Senate will not pass it.
Yeah. Remember, there seems to be pressure on Thune as he comes out and says, well, there seems to be some things that we can do. Why? Why is he all of a sudden talking like that? Because there's pressure. Keep the pressure up. Awaken Outlaw. This is all rapidly coming to a head regarding the Save America Act. The public's exasperation over inaction, especially given the overwhelming support for getting it done, and legitimate anger at feeling betrayed on the matter hangs heavy in the air. It's palpable, and I suspect that's a signal that something big is headed our way. This is not how America goes out. Not sure how this plays out, but I don't believe in my heart of hearts that hostile foreign and domestic interests are going to be allowed to steal the November election. That doesn't compute in my mind, not when the fallout from allowing that would essentially equate to surrendering our republic to communism. We'd never get another chance. Trump and our military understand that. Whatever it takes applies here. Now here's Senator John Kennedy. Starts shouting on the floor about the Senate taking a recess.
Parameters of the Budget Control Act. But we can't do it unless we can vote. And it would be nice if we could all agree. It would be nice if we can all have meetings and talk about it and give and take. I'm all for that. But right now it's not realistic because people have differences of opinion. You know what you do when you have a difference of opinion? You vote. That's why God made votes. That's why God made the United States Senate. We can continue to sit around. It's also true on the Russian sanctions bill, but especially is true with respect to election integrity. And I'm not criticizing anybody. I know the way the Senate works, and you do too, Madam Chair. You know, senators will stall and restall and cuss and spit, and we need one more meeting. I can't tell you how many meetings I've been in the last 6 months that should have been an email, that could have been an email, to talk about the Russian sanctions bill and to talk about election integrity and to try to get a consensus. It's not going to happen. Not in my natural lifetime, not in yours, Madam Chair, though you'll live longer than me, and not in yours, our friends in the gallery. We gotta vote. And we need to vote right now. And the American people expect it.
Sure do. They sure do. I got a lot more to show you what's been happening across the United States. Some cons from President Trump. How we can get involved. Georgetown professor Andy Schneider. More professors being exposed for us to see how they lie to our children and more. And the folks that regret voting for Democrats apologizing on social media, and great comms from grasshoppers to ground. Folks, many of us want our furry best friends to thrive. At LTPetClub247.com are all natural USA-made supplements and treats packed with immune-boosting Coriolis versicolor mushrooms. Shed antler power. Transform your pet's health. And guess what? They're so pure, they're great for humans too.
Have been suffering from ulcerative colitis my whole life. I started dosing it very, very hard, like 4 60-milligram tablets 4 times a day. To make a long story short, within about 3 weeks, I stopped bleeding.
From biscuits supporting bones, joints, and organs to mushroom blends for wellness, we've got pets and people covered. Plus, we donate profits to animal rescues like the Beagle Freedom Project. Shop affordable, natural solutions. Head to ltpetclub247.com now for vitality for you and your pet. LT Pet Club 247, health for all, 24/7. Get yours in the description box below today. Matt Van Swol's been going through quite a bit. He took care. We kind of met him through North Carolina, all that was happening there when they had their floods and more. Met him via social media, and all the posts that he was doing. He's grown. He's woken up to what the liberals are all about and more, and he's frustrated. Why does everything feel fake? He says, we have a Congress that won't pass something 83% of the people want. We have courts that release criminals faster than police can arrest them. We have schools that graduate kids who can't read. We have colleges that charge $200,000 for degrees that don't get you jobs. We have a nonprofit system that profits from our tax dollars. We have a healthcare industry that profits from you staying sick. We have representatives who don't represent us. We have news networks that report opinions and call them facts. We have an insurance industry that fights every single claim. None of it works the way they tell you it works. And deep down, everyone knows it. It just all feels so fake. And with all that's going on, you got our folks having to deal with professors over migrants getting free health care. Here's Senator Moreno.
Mr. Snyder, if somebody's in this country without permission, should they be allowed to get health care on the backs of the American taxpayer? Yes or no?
My own view is if people need health care, they should receive it.
So you think that somebody who is here illegally should have their health care paid for by the American taxpayer?
So we have a law in this country.
No, I'm just asking you. That's a simple yes or no question. Somebody's in this country.
I agree with
somebody's.
This guy's from Georgetown now. Georgetown. Professor Andy Schneider.
Let me just restate it. So
yes, if they need emergency care, yes.
So the taxpayer, the United States of America, should pay for the health care of people who broke into this country illegally.
That's what Congress decided in 1980.
No. Congress never decided. I don't know what Congress you're talking about. If you needed emergency health care and you went to any other country on earth, would you get it for free?
Well, the countries that I've gone to, yes.
You would get health care for free if you went into so for example, let's take Spain, which has incredibly difficult visa standards. If you went to Spain and needed heart surgery, you think the Spanish government would give it to you gratis?
I can't speak to Spain.
But do you think but it's interesting. I wonder if my Democrat colleagues would agree with that. That if people who broke into this country illegally should get health care. Mr. Snyder, if somebody broke into your home, would you make them dinner?
No, I would not.
Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you? They need help. What if they're starving? What if somebody broke into your home who's hungry? Would you not feed them? Or would you call the police and get the heck out of the house?
If somebody was hungry and needed to be fed, I would feed them.
So if somebody broke into your house, you will feed them. Don't give anybody your address.
So
whatever you do, I'm asking you just for your own personal sake, do not release your address.
Yeah. These guys are idiots. Mr. Kennedy did something, that we love about him. One of the things we love about him is how he is able to get the word across in a simple way He's got to take this guy, this professor, to Romper Room or, I don't know, Sesame Street, just to get him to understand how stupid he is.
Do you think we ought to put people in jail for cheating?
Senator, I do not believe states are cheating.
You don't believe that?
I do not believe that.
If they were cheating, what planet did you just parachute in from?
Oh, I love it. I don't believe they're cheating. I'm a professor. I came from the elite university. I have thousands of students that listen to me every day as I get my Grey Poupon and my tea, and I talk to them, and they listen to me, and I tell them this country is wonderful. There's no cheating going on. Illegals can break into your house, and I'll feed them. Criminals, I love them. Pay all your taxpayer money, folks. Work hard, because you can give your money away to those people that break into your house, into your country. There's nothing wrong with that as I get my Grey Poupon and continue to use it on my sandwich.
Sir,
you don't
I've worked
believe
on
states
this.
are
I've
cheating?
worked on this program for a long time.
But I'm be
It's
sure to
not
understand,
perfect,
you don't
but
believe
states
sta-
do not
You don't
cheat.
believe states are cheating.
I do not believe states are
Do
cheating.
you believe in the tooth fairy? Sir? Do you believe in the Easter Bunny? Do you believe that Jimmy Hoffa died of natural causes?
Come on now.
You're not answering.
I do not believe states are cheating in their administration of the Medicaid program.
Okay. I'm glad you have some water in front of you because your pants are on fire.
They're not cheating in their administration of the Medicaid program. No, not at all. There's nothing going on, nothing to see here. No problems at all on our medical side and more. Yet, I saved this for later, but, it's perfect time to bring this one in.
Made the most progress, hospice. Since President Trump took office, 1,076 hospices have been removed from the Medicare program in California alone.
No way.
This represents a 47% reduction in the number of California hospices compared to the peak during the Biden administration. To put that in context, Los Angeles County alone had more than 1,850 hospices. So these are hospices that are no longer under review. They're not on a watch list. They are gone, thrown out of the program entirely. Unable to bill Medicare, unable to touch another taxpayer dollar, unable to take advantage of another vulnerable beneficiary. And we're not stopping at California. In May, CMS put in place a nationwide moratorium on new hospice and in-home health enrollments, the broadest action CMS has ever taken in this space. It's in effect through mid-November, and we're using that time to investigate all existing facilities, dig into the data, and remove bad actors, not just process the next claim. That matters here in Pennsylvania, too. In its written response to Dr. Oz's revalidation request letter in late April, Pennsylvania stated that it is using the federal moratoriums as a reason to review its program integrity efforts. The state also indicated that it would implement a moratorium on newly enrolling hospice providers and evaluate whether a statewide or geographically targeted moratorium is necessary for home health providers.
That's nearly half of all enrolled hospices in the state of California, 47% reduction from the Biden era peak. They kicked 1,076 hospice providers in California out alone. Oh, man. What else are they going after?
This team of public servants is committed to looking further, digging deeper, working night and day to unmask the fraudsters stealing the wealth of America and bring them to justice.
That's Assistant Attorney General Colin McDonald. Ha.
And this commitment is reaping dividends right here and right now in Pennsylvania. Today, we are announcing criminal charges against 19 defendants for fraudulent home health care schemes that targeted Pennsylvania's Medicaid fraud program and resulted in over $4 million of fraud. 18 of these defendants were charged in the last 12 days as part of a strategically coordinated law enforcement operation between the Fraud Division, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office. The cases today build on the work that we recently announced in Minnesota, where we charged 15 defendants for systematically looting 7 state-managed Medicaid programs out of more than $90 million, treating those programs like a piggy bank, until one of them had to be shut down entirely because there was nothing left. The shelves were empty.
You don't say.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is one of the highest spenders for home care services in the nation, with spending on home care services exceeding $8 billion in 2025 alone. These home care programs are designed to allow America's most vulnerable to live with dignity at their own home instead of being forced to leave their families for a nursing home. The program is innovative. It allows friends and family members to receive funds from Medicaid to provide necessary physical care for a loved one. Used properly by honest citizens, the program allows those with physical ailments to be cared for by those they trust the most.
So that's 19 defendants. Fraudulent home health care schemes targeting Pennsylvania's Medicaid program. $4 million in fraud. Now you understand, if you multiply that across the United States of America and all the folks you're going to catch, how many would not vote for President Trump because they knew justice is coming. Let's go back to this professor, Mr. Andy Schneider. Let's go back to this.
You're not answering.
I do not believe states are cheating in their administration of the Medicaid program.
Okay.
Yet I teach your children. I'm a professor. Mr. Professor. All right, enough of that guy. The Senate Judiciary Committee favorably reported Todd Blanche's Department of Justice nomination for Attorney General. Excuse me. The DAG, Todd Blanche, for Attorney General, not Justice. The full Senate will soon vote on his nomination. Darlene Graham said, I was pleased to support President Trump's choice for Attorney General Todd Blanche. Mr. Blanche is a highly qualified nominee. He's proven his commitment to fighting crime in his role as the acting Attorney General. That's right. I'm confident Mr. Blanche will faithfully uphold our nation's laws and keep law-abiding Americans safe. Look forward to voting to confirm Mr. Blanche on the Senate floor as soon as possible. Folks, let's hope that he is everything that we want him to be. Speaking of Darlene Graham, President Trump said it was my honor to welcome now Senator Darlene Graham Nordone, the sister of the late, great Lindsey Graham, from the wonderful state of South Carolina into the Oval Office. We have known each other for a long time. She's a spectacular person and a true American patriot. Lindsey was one of the greatest people and senators I have ever known, and his sister shares his deep love of our country and the state of South Carolina. During her visit, I've asked Darlene, for the good of our nation, to run for the U.S. Senate in the special Republican primary on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. She accepted, as there is nobody better to honor the legacy of her beloved brother, Lindsey. Darlene, who comes from an absolutely incredible family, has been a winner all of her life and has my complete and total endorsement in the special election for U.S. Senate in South Carolina. She will never let you down, President Donald J. Trump. Leadership. Weapons in President Trump's arsenal. Direct weapons. Well, it's amazing that Department of War CTO said light speed lethality. The Department of War is directed energy dominant. Notice, if you will, on the screen, they posted this at AM and it has 45 colon 47. Why would they put a colon there? Why would they put 45, 47? Oh, we're used to the 45-47. Kimberly Auer caught this and said, peep the time on the graphic, 45, 47. Now, see one of the ways a colon is explained in grammar. 45, pause with a purpose, 47. That's what the colon means. In English pronunciation, the colon is not a symbol that literally means through. Instead, it is a mark that signals a pause with a purpose. There was a pause when Biden entered the scene, and there was a purpose behind it. Right after that pause, 47 entered, and he's reminding us with this meme, 3 leaders who don't apologize, don't back down, and put America first: Patton, Trump, and MacArthur. Patton, Trump, and MacArthur. Not backing down from danger. There's a guy, if you guys didn't know, a hero who didn't back down from danger. He actually went out, took out a guy who was going to kill a lot of folks at an In-N-Out Burger. Wind Talker said ABC actually aired this, folks. The Overton window is shifting. They actually aired a hero, a guy who saved many at an In-N-Out Burger that was just open a week earlier.
Investigators say 2 men, an off-duty state trooper, and this man, 35-year-old Jordan Salinas, fired back.
I peeked around the right-hand side of that sign closest to the road, and that's where I saw the individual with his rifle pointed at the vehicles.
Authorities believe those heroic actions drove the shooter from the scene and likely saved lives.
This happened in Idaho.
He seemed unusually comfortable aiming that rifle at those cars, and then as soon as some rounds started coming at him, everything changed. Immediately, all that bravado he had immediately crumbled.
This In-N-Out had opened just a week prior. The company says one of their workers was killed while caring for customers. Christopher Claunch was also killed. His sister telling the New York Times he'd worked at a recovery center helping people with addiction, and his partner said he loved traveling, cooking, and the outdoors. We also spoke to Lindsay Tangy, who found several of the victims at the scene.
This is just not our community. None of us expected this.
And David, that hero civilian Jordan told me along with him, there were dozens of people who jumped in to help with first aid, and all of that action very likely saved lives.
He pulled out his gun and he said, I'm taking this guy out. You guys realize what we're up against? Why the enemy wants to take our guns away? Because he can't do everything he wants in our country when we're locked and loaded and ready to move forward. Now, we've got a huge election coming up in November. The DSA, they're getting bombarded. They're taking over the Democrat Party and more. President Trump had something to say about that. You're going to be shocked what you see in Dearborn, Michigan. Some comms from Grasshopper and more on this. And the people are fighting back in McKinney, Texas. It's a battle. Can't wait to show you. Have you been dealing with nagging pain, restless nights, constant stress, or just feeling drained? What if the solution was something as simple as wearing a watch? Introducing the new and improved WaveWatch 2.2, the world's first sound frequency therapy watch. This isn't just a timepiece, it's 166 powerful frequency sets, over 1,250 targeted frequencies designed to help your body restore balance naturally. Wear it on your wrist, pick a set for pain relief, deeper sleep, detox, energy boost, stress melt away, or even nerve support, and let gentle, safe sound waves do the work. No apps, no Bluetooth, just pure natural harmony. I use the watch for my back pain and also to regulate my sleep. My friend used it who had terrible knee pain affecting his bowling. Now he bowls pain-free. Another shared in less than a week improvements in liver, hip pain, nerve pain, and emotional balance. It's a blessing. Thousands are experiencing fast-acting wellness without chemicals or side effects. Right now, WaveWatch is giving And We Know fans a special deal. You get 15% off with code AWK. That's code AWK. That's a big savings on the WaveWatch 2.2. Don't wait. Supplies are limited and pre-orders are moving fast. Visit wavewatch.com/pages/AWK today. Use code AWK and take the first step toward feeling better naturally, because when we know better, we do better. Order now.
America, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I take full responsibility. I am partly responsible for what's happening in America, for what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, for what's happening in New York City. We left Iran. We left Islamic Republic for exactly this reason, because radical terrorists, Muslims took over the country and are literally killing, raping, torturing, and executing innocent people right now as we speak for the past 47 years. And I thought by voting Democrat, liberals, every single year, every single time there was an election, that meant we are going to make America, keep America great. We're going to definitely not negotiate with terrorism. That's exactly what the left media made me believe. And I'm here to say I apologize. I was brainwashed this whole time. It took me over 20 years to realize that Democrats and liberals are the reason this country is the way it is. They're the ones that are okay with the American flag being burned in New York City, that the American flag is okay to be burned. It's part of democracy. It's the most anti-American thing to do. And wishing death upon America is the most anti-American thing you can do. It has nothing to do with democracy. And I'm here to apologize and let my husband know that he was right. He was Gotta let my husband know that he was I don't know why it's so hard to say this. I am here to announce that my husband was It's very painful. I'm here to announce that my husband was right. Oh, that took everything I had. That he was right about everything. That Republicans are the ones that are gonna help make America great again. I also believed that make America great again meant make America white again. That's because the left media wanted me to believe that. I am here to announce I'm sorry, and I will be part of the group that will make America great again. And I will proudly vote Republican from now on. God bless, and again, I apologize for everything I've done.
The Great Awakening. Do you see how long it's taken folks to get this far to wake folks up to the Democrats and the rhinos and who they really are? Now, I don't know the date this was posted. It could have been posted last year. I don't know. We saw it on social media, so I assumed it was recently. It takes time for them to realize how they've been duped. And they have to be reminded over and over and over again, no matter how many things that we try to do. The mainstream media, they'll do all they can to destroy this country with misinformation. As a matter of fact, I went and looked up the percentages that Fauci and his lies with the media worked together to force people to take those jabs. We had nearly 80% of our country get them because of the brainwashed lies that were told. That's just our country alone. There are many other countries above that, 85, 90% more in Europe, because they were lied to by the media. There's terrifying footage from Dearborn, Michigan. Muslims are going all in, flooding the polls in massive numbers for their Muslim brother, Abdul El Sayed. Woman fully covered head to toe under Sharia rules. Lines are packed. Zero hesitation. Pure block voting. This is Dearborn on full display. America's first major Arab majority city is mobilizing hard to put an Islamic-aligned candidate into the U.S. Senate. Mike Rogers must crush this. We cannot let Abdul walk into the Senate promoting foreign interest over American ones. Constitution X, thank you for this post. President Trump.
What do you think about the traction these candidates who are backed by the DSA and are members of the DSA are getting?
Well, I think it's crazy because they're going to ruin our country. They want to, I don't know if they want to. I think either they're very naive or they actually want to ruin the country. No matter where you look, go back 1,000 years with different names, anybody doing what they're doing and what they're espousing, everything turns out to ashes and junk and filth. You know, one thing I said the other day for the first time ever, never thought of it, but you go to these cities that are taken over by the socialists and the communists, they're always filthy dirty, they're disgusting. They're always dirty, and, you know, I'm a clean person, and people I know are clean. They like to have, and you are. I know you very well. You're very clean. But they're, aside from crime, aside from all of the other problems, no jobs, no anything, no money, they're always filthy, disgusting, dirty. And that's what you'll get.
That's what you'll get. President Trump posted on Truth Social on August 4th a book from Alan Dershowitz, Why I Quit the Dems, and So Should You. Grasshopper17 jumped on this and said, what time did he post it? Where was it posted? And more. Looked at some keywords. And he was able to connect the dots on the cue board, basically letting us know the message that President Trump wanted us to hear. Or him and the group that's behind all of this wants us to know. He posted at 18:34, 59 seconds. 94 words plus one space. Here's what it means. Be ready, Anon's public awakening coming. It's happening. The Great Awakening. We just showed you one of those. They never thought she would lose, Hillary. Now they all lose. Q+. That's from President Trump. Bill wants a deal. Watch the cookie quickly crumble. Bill Clinton. Space double tapped. HRC strings cut fighting for her life. 3 booms. Barack Obama, HRC, and Bill. All wrapped in one. Now, the fight continues in McKinney, Texas. A lot of posts on social media about this. A Muslim supporting the construction of the proposed center said this.
And once we have implemented that, we will change the United States Constitution with this mosque.
He said, we will change the United States Constitution. And the people booed. People showed up in droves. This guy turns around, thinks he knows what he's doing. Way to go, McKinney. Another part of this would be an Iranian-born resident spoke in opposition to the Islamic Center that they're proposing at McKinney and the mosque.
Islamic monarchy used to be a Christian country. I mean, we were soft Christians and we allowed these people to come in, bring their Sharia law into their countries and slowly kill us off left and right. Let me make it very clear to you. Christianity is a personal relationship with God where it says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, render unto God what is God's. Islam is Sharia law, deen wa dawah, religion and state, which is not even compatible with the American thing. And when these people will use taqiyya to lie to you, to manipulate you, because whenever Islam is little, they will lie to you and tell you they come in peace.
He says they'll say they come in peace, but they're a death cult. The Iranian-born resident spoke in opposition. And he talked about Christ being a personal relationship and what they will bring to this country with Sharia and more. Other parts of the country, North Carolina.
Examine closely whether the building of this mosque is right for this community. I personally say no to Sharia law and this Muslim center.
How can you serve and protect us when you can't even tell us about a proposed mosque in our backyard?
It was a full house tonight at the Mooresville Commissioners meeting as the town considers a new mosque in the city that has been met with controversy. Many in attendance voiced their concerns about the new complex, with complaints ranging from traffic issues and a lack of transparency, as the potential property was not listed on tonight's agenda. The Board Commissioner responding to those citizens tonight, saying the property has been approved for religious use since it was annexed into the town limits back in 1998. And they went on to detail how much space the building would take up and encourage the community to continue to share their concerns about any proposed project.
Yeah. You think they're going to go down without a fight? Oh, no. This screen shot that I'm showing you now, Oklahoma News. Listen to this from CARE, Muslim Brotherhood Front Group.
The right to practice one's religion is one of the most fundamental pillars of American society.
So they're saying practice religion. It's not a religion. It's a political ideology bent on bringing in pain and suffering to the countries they come into. Islamic Society of Tulsa, CARE Sioux City of Broken Arrow over mosque denial. They're fighting back.
The government has a duty to honor it. The city of Broken Arrow violated that duty when its city council denied the Islamic Society of Tulsa the ability to use their property as a mosque and Islamic center. This would have been the first mosque in Broken Arrow. The Oklahomans who sought permission to build it followed all city requirements and procedures. That is why, after a thorough review, the city's own planning staff recommended approval. And on December 18th, 2025, the Planning Commission did the exact same. Despite those recommendations, the City Council caved to a wave of bigoted, anti-Muslim hysteria and denied the applications in full.
It's good. Muslim Brotherhood, CARE, C-A-I-R, Muslim Brotherhood Front Group, and unindicted co-conspirators in the Holy Land Foundation trial. are suing an American city for voting down a mosque proposal. CARE is banned in several Muslim countries, but remains legal, active, and litigious here in USA, and using our laws against us. Despite being banned by Governor Greg Abbott, they also sued to have Muslim Brotherhood-affiliated Islamic schools in Texas included into the state's taxpayer voucher program and won. Now, here they are dictating to Americans in their own city whether or not they can keep out these Islamic compounds being proposed everywhere. A similar suit has been filed against Hilliard, Ohio. And it may be an unpopular take, but every law they're suing under shouldn't even be valid. We should have the right as Americans to not have these communities forced upon us in this vile, ongoing act. Anna D. West, thank you so much for giving us this information. A man threatening people with a knife was taken down by police in Bradford, UK. Police refused to release his name. What do you notice about him? What do you notice? If you're not watching, you're listening, he looks like a typical Muslim illegal immigrant. Somebody's having trouble with this. British news anchor cries over the state of Western Europe.
I'm 42, and I know that that's it. That my country, my continent, my civilization, my freedoms, my way of life, my safety, my ability to walk around the streets where I grew up freely, I know it's over. I know it's over because of what's going on and what's happening. And we're watching it in real time, and this is war, and this is being conducted by hostile states, and I cannot wrap my head around how we have a government, and frankly successive governments, not just in the United Kingdom, but across the West, of the left wing particularly, who for some reason that I just cannot fathom, at the very least are turning a blind eye to this. At worst, they're actually complicit. I don't know. What is going on?
Daily Mail, Muslim schoolgirl admits lying that her teacher was Islamophobic, which led to him being decapitated by a jihadist because she was suspended for 2 days and worried her parents would be angry. You see what we're dealing with? Other things, if you're looking at your screen, you'll notice a news crews out there, and they have a little boy sitting on a rock, and they're videotaping, have him sit down to, give the impression with the news. They just got to make it look like you're so concerned, so worried. And then you turn to the news service. Ada Lush put this out. This is exactly what she's been talking about. These sad images that they announce the government of Spain is spending 25 million pounds from our taxpayers' money to take care of them. These poor children. Do you see your screen? They're making it look like it's so terrible. They need our help. Here we are. So you don't understand her, but that's what they're doing. It's all part of their show. Pull the heartstrings of the people. Make them think like it's just something that we should do. It's an honor. C3. Are you sitting down? 61% of illegal immigrant-headed households are on at least one government welfare program. Always looking for handouts. Government welfare program is code for Americans working to pay for illegals' welfare. We were told this doesn't happen. It needs to be cut off. Part of that cutoff is happening. White House reminded us 15 months of zero border crossings. The border is locked. America is secure. Promises made, promises kept. Just a reminder, we don't have millions crossing over our border anymore. President Trump reminded us manufacturing's booming. Factory activity just hit its fastest pace in more than 4 years, far exceeding expectations. New orders have expanded for 7 straight months. American manufacturing is back. The stock market is an all-time high and setting record after record because investors know America's winning. American exports are on fire. U.S. goods exports are now top $200 billion for the 5th consecutive month. And we are on pace for nearly $2.5 trillion in goods exports this year. Numbers nobody thought possible just 2 years ago. The fake news and the Democrats are doing everything they can to distract people's thoughts from these massive successes, but it's getting harder and harder for them to do with trillions of dollars of new investment pouring into the United States and more factories, more construction, and more high-paying jobs on the way. The results are impossible to hide. This is the golden age of America, and we're just getting started. We're already achieving heights that nobody thought possible, and the biggest victories are still ahead. President Donald J. Trump. He kind of reminds me, just a side note, one of my sons has been doing his certs for IT and cybersecurity. And he's taking classes, and he's doing 4 or 5 hours a day, and he's excited because we talked about the opportunities that are opening up across America, folks. And I said, hey, imagine all these industries are coming back in, all these businesses that are coming back into our country and growing. They're going to need help with their computers and all the IT and the servers and more. Son, I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for this country. So even I am able to express myself to my own family members, to my own children. Guys, great things are coming. Get studied up. Prepare the crops. Be ready for the rain. Central banks make significant gold purchases. Why are they doing that? Dr. Kirk Elliott was reminding us of these big moves that are being made by central banks. Well, these are the same things that we should be looking at doing ourselves if they're doing it, because they see the writing on the wall. We talked about this extensively in our video last Saturday that we dropped. You can go to amweknow.com/gold. Get your answers. Simple phone call. They will take care of you, folks, and they will pray with you too. You can bring your IRAs over to gold and silver, precious metals, get it away from fiat currency, and you'll watch things happen we believe that will play out in the future. And he continues to remind us of that. President Trump said, for far too long, radical climate activists attempted to hold our great country hostage by drastically and unreasonably expanding the intended scope of the Endangered Species Act. This was complete and total regulatory overreach by unelected bureaucrats. They treated Americans very unfairly by stifling the production of important resources like oil, natural gas, and timber, and blocking the construction of family homes and critical infrastructure. Even our military couldn't train on land that was deemed off limits to protect a little rodent. Now my administration has returned the Endangered Species Act to how it was intended to be, just as the great Justice Antonin Scalia has explained in previous cases, while responsibly protecting our beautiful country, the United States of America is going to build again. He continued with this. For many years, the vast majority of Americans have asked to make daylight saving time make it permanent, but no administration has been able to get it done until now. I'm proud to announce that the House of Representatives have passed a bill and has now gone to the Senate for final approval. People are sick and tired of having to change their clocks twice a year. It's foolish, inconvenient, and in some cases very costly. For cities and states with watchtowers and hard-to-reach places, it costs millions of dollars. And he goes into all those details, the effects that it has on our country, the money that's lost, and more. I'm so looking forward to getting that thing passed, folks. Done with it. Done with it. You know, just a reminder, the other day, Mohammed Hijab said, this is the image which agitates the far right the most. An intelligent Muslim woman who refuses the role of victim and stands up to make the case for her people, right, in UK. Lawrence Fox, remember we played his video the other day where he gave that tremendous defense in the debate, proving that we should be suspicious of Islam. He said, it always strikes me as odd that when a Muslim applauds someone standing up for her people, it's a noble thing. Yet when a white Christian stands up for their people, they are instantly a racist. There's only one human race. The ideologies we chase aren't who we are. You know, a quick reminder before we get to the end of this. Remember President Trump with that Newsweek meme that he put out, posted saying Trump was right with the timestamp of 12:51. And then 5 minutes later, 12:56, later on X, the White House posted the same meme targeted Trust in Trump. Ultra Magadine was on this. which President Trump himself reposted on X. By President Trump reposting his own meme that he posted on Truth, he wants us to look at the timestamp gap. So let's look at the gap between 1251 and 1256. That's 5-minute gap. You go to Q5, it says follow the money. It's the key. Go a little further down. The truth is mind-blowing and cannot fully be exposed. Also, many are thinking from one point of view, U.S. only. But this evil is embedded around the entire earth. The U.S. is the first domino. Have faith. Remember, we're told to trust in Trump. What's interesting in this repost by the White House with President Trump's meme tag, trust in Trump, and then President Trump reposting it himself, it coordinates exactly with this timestamp of 1251, which says, listen carefully, trust the plan, trust in Trump. It is undeniable at this point, President Trump is reassuring us to trust the plan, folks. The calm, follow the money. It's the key. The truth is mind-blowing, cannot fully be exposed. Many are thinking from one point of view, the U.S. only. This evil is embedded around the earth. But the U.S. will be the first domino. Have faith. Trust the plan, trust in Trump. Now, all this to be said, all the information that we passed today and more, showing you once again, folks, we can make a difference. Thune is shaking in his boots and he's having to make moves. He's getting bombarded. These senators are saying, okay, we're with you guys. We're going to stick around. We don't want to recess. Thank you for calling us. Thank you for letting us know what's going on. You push the buttons. We're waking up. And then you head over to McKinney. Folks are showing up and saying, no, you're not going to build a mosque here. We do not want it. Folks in North Carolina standing up. We the people standing up. But yet they, the enemy, will stand up against this country, claim that they're religion, even though they're doing all they can to destroy this country, infiltrate from within, and destroy us. You see the battle we're up against? And you watch folks like a news anchor in the UK crying for her country, not watching what's happening as it's falling apart. We the people, right? It's our country. We have to learn to stand up. It can't just be done by one person, one president, one senator, one this, one that. It has got to be a conglomeration of all of us working together, praying together, and saying, Lord, what do you have me to do? He's always doing a great work in all of us. So I wanted to show you, we had a great message yesterday. I wanted to continue that and finish off today with this message on the truth about Judas that the Bible readers miss.
Dude, honestly, this little thing is like one of the most terrifying things in the entire Bible. Okay, and everybody misses this. If you go back to Matthew 26, the Gospel of Matthew is the only gospel that records this. You got this time where all the disciples are hanging out with Jesus is Last Supper. And Jesus tells the disciples, he's like, hey, heads up, one of you is going to betray me. As soon as Jesus goes, one of you is going to betray me, it says that they all start going around the table and all the apostles start saying, watch this, I'm going to read it to you. It says, all the apostles, one by one, they start saying, is it I, Lord? So 11 out of 11 of these dudes. Then if you look real close, and you gotta look real close, everybody skips right over this. When it gets to Judas, he's the only guy that says something different. And Judas says, is it I, Rabbi? He's the only one. What the Bible's showing you is that even though he was visibly a follower of Jesus, everybody else submitted to Jesus as Lord, and Judas was just like, I love him as a good teacher. So here's the big idea. You can't lose your salvation, but you can fake it. That's what Judas is showing. So when you see somebody like Judas, we know exactly what happened. In fact, literally a Bible verse, 1 John 2:19, is about people like Judas. Yes. They went out from us, but they did not really belong to us. For if they had belonged to us, they would have remained with us. But their going out showed they did not belong to us. Yes. You can't lose your salvation. You can fake it.
Love that message. I saw this right before we close. I just noticed this here. There's a guy named Sharik Khan. He's got a picture he posted. He says, here I am here's me in Dearborn, Michigan, a few minutes from their March location, leading young Muslim men to Christ. I have a team of 50 plus evangelists. We're leading Muslims to Christ every week. Just saying. Sharik Khan, he's on X. Jesus is King, he says. American ex-Muslim. ministry founder at Christ Underground, Apologetics Evangelism. Learn the master key for reaching Muslims. All this that's going on, and we still have folks out there leading people to Christ.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you again. We're so thankful for how you continue to guide and direct our lives. We thank you for the warriors out there on the front lines, doing all they can to save this nation from these evil ones, and also for those that are sharing the message of Christ. We love that. We lift up Sharik Khan to you, as you just saw that message from him, and their guys out there doing the best they can while the ability is there to share the good news of Jesus Christ with so many who need to hear it. We know that you sent your only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him, that's whoever, whatever human believes in him, should not perish but have everlasting life. We ask for continued protection from the enemy, for our own families, for those that are fighting for us, and more. Please help us in our daily walk with you. We bring this before you in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen. Thank you so much for your prayers, for your guidance, for your comments, your emails, and so much more, folks. We certainly appreciate it. For now, this LT Semper Fi with them we know, signing out.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
I also believed that Make America Great Again meant Make America White Again. That's because the left media wanted me to believe that. I am here to announce I'm sorry, and I will be part of the group that will make America great again. And I will proudly vote Republican from now on. God bless, and again, I apologize for everything I've done.
Get the spotlight off of me. Do you think we ought to put people in jail for cheating?
Senator, I do not believe states are cheating.
You don't believe they're
I do
cheating?
not believe
All
that.
right. If they were cheating, what planet did you just parachute in from? I'm glad you have some water in front of you because your pants are on fire.